I walked into the house that evening, expecting nothing unusual. Worn out and irritated from a grueling, traffic-clogged commute, I was only hoping for a quiet dinner and some rest. As I stepped inside and called out for my wife, I was met with nothing but silence. At first, it didn't strike me as odd. She could have been showering, caught up on a call, or simply out of earshot, but the stillness felt heavier than it should have. No hum of the TV, no faint music, not even the sounds of dishes clattering, just an unsettling quiet. I dropped my bag on the couch and headed toward the bedroom to change. As I walked past the bathroom, I noticed the door slightly ajar, the light still on. That stopped me. Both of us were pretty diligent about switching off lights to save on the electric bill. I paused, pushed the door open gently. What I saw tied my stomach into a knot. A pair of men's shoes sat neatly beside the bathtub. Shoes that weren't mine. My eyes darted around the bathroom. A damp towel dangled behind the door. A razor I'd never seen before rested near the sink. Even my toothbrush had been nudged aside, now positioned next to a different one. A cold wave of dread washed over me. I stood frozen, my mind racing to make sense of it all. Then I heard it. Soft footsteps coming from the bedroom. Quiet, careful steps, like someone trying not to make a sound. I turned and followed them. There she was, my wife, standing near the closet, fully dressed but clearly startled by my presence. Her face drained of color, her eyes widening with a flicker of panic, like she hadn't expected me to be home yet. Trying to keep my voice steady, I met her gaze. "There's something in the bathroom I need to ask you about." Her eyes darted toward the hallway. What do you mean?" she asked, her voice strained. "There's a pair of men's shoes, a razor, a towel," I said quietly. "None of it belongs to me. Care to explain?" Her lips parted, but no words came. They quivered slightly. "It's not what it looks like," she finally blurted out. And right then, everything shifted. I hadn't accused her outright. I hadn't even raised my voice. But her expression, her hesitation, gave her away. Her face flushed deep red as she looked down at the floor. I didn't have to say what I was thinking. I just asked calmly, "Why do you look so afraid?" She shook her head quickly, stumbling over her words. He's just a friend. He stopped by after the gym to take a shower." "That's it." "A friend?" My heart clenched. "Since when do your friends come here to shower?" She said nothing. Instead, she brushed past me, heading toward the bathroom. She started gathering the razor and towel, as if tidying up with a race what had just happened. I followed her. "Where is he now?" I asked, forcing myself to stay calm. He left before you got home," she whispered. "He was just here for a little while. He was tired." She couldn't meet my eyes. Every word sounded rehearsed, measured, like she was choosing them carefully. My head spun. Who was this man? How long had this been going on? "You expect me to believe some guy walked into our home, used our shower, and just left all his stuff lying around?" I asked, my tone sharpening. She faltered. "He forgot." I told him not to, but he was in a rush. Anger surged inside me, but I forced it down. I needed answers, not a shouting match. I took a slow breath and asked the one question that had been clawing at my insides. "Are you seeing someone else?" Her eyes grew wide. "No, I swear I would never." "Then who is he?" I asked again, louder this time. Her eyes welled with tears. "Please, it's not what you think. You have to believe me." I said nothing. I walked over and sat on the edge of the bed, my face buried in my hands, trying to make sense of the nightmare unraveling around me. She stood there, paralyzed by fear, unable to speak. The tension was suffocating. Then, a faint noise from the guest room. A soft thud. We both froze. I stood. She reached for my arm, her grip trembling. "Please, don't." "There's no one. He's gone." But I didn't stop. I walked straight to the guest room and opened the door. At first glance, it seemed empty. Then I noticed it. A shadow behind the curtain. My heart raced. I yanked the curtain aside, and there he was, barefoot, shirtless, eyes wide with fear. He looked about 30, maybe younger. "What the hell is this?" I demanded. He stammered, fumbling for words but managing nothing coherent. My wife burst in behind me, sobbing, grabbing my arm. "Please don't do anything. Let me explain." I turned on her, furious. "Explain? You said he was gone. You lied straight to my face." She broke down completely, covering her mouth with her hand, choking back sobs. I didn't know what to do. I panicked. I turned back to him. "Who the hell are you?" He stared at me like a trapped animal. I'm sorry. I never meant for this to happen. "So it's true?" I asked, my voice bitter and cracked. My wife collapsed on the bed, sobbing uncontrollably. "I didn't plan this. It just happened. I never wanted to hurt you." I backed away, the walls closing in. I couldn't bear to look at either of them. The pain sliced too deep, too raw. Everything, our life, our love, the trust we built, felt like it was crumbling into dust. She called after me, but I didn't answer. I walked out the door, out into the fading light of the evening. I had no destination. I just needed to move, to breathe, to escape the crushing weight on my chest. I didn't know what I'd do next. I didn't even know how to feel. But there was one thing I knew for sure. No matter how much it shattered me, I was glad I'd come home early that day. Because now, at least, I knew the truth.